Harry's Wife, A Less Than Royal Narcissist, Part 48.2. Yesterday it was the 10th wedding anniversary of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. And I have explained in Part 1 how that would cause a reaction with regard to seeing the video released by the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge to celebrate on their 10th wedding anniversary, releasing that information on social media. What was the response of the Sussex household? Well, turning to Harper's Bazaar, the article reads, Prince Harry and his wife privately wished Prince William and Kate Middleton a happy anniversary. A source close to the Sussexes confirms to Bazaar.com that the couple expressed their well wishes. An article by Bianca Betancourt. So the couple expressed their well wishes. Well, dearie me, that's certainly fulsome and empathic, isn't it? They expressed their well wishes. It's a little bit like, I don't know, thanking somebody for their service. Does that ring any bells with anybody? Maybe. Anywho, the article writes, Prince Harry and his wife have sent Prince William and Kate Middleton well wishes for their 10th wedding anniversary. A spokesperson for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex confirms to Bazaar.com that the couple have privately congratulated the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge on their marital milestone. However, it's unclear whether the message was sent via a phone call, video call, or written note, or on a note strapped to a chicken of authenticity and thrown through the window, or perhaps written in a Sharpie on a banana of empowerment. The Sussex and Cambridge households, the article continues, seem to have had a more distant relationship in the past year, you don't say, following Harry and his wife's decision to step back as senior working members of the royal family. Last month, the Sussexes expressed some of the frustrations they had while working within the institution, with Harry's wife revealing that Kate at one point made her cry, and Harry admitting that he and his brother were giving each other space. That said, there have been subtle signs of a slow and steady reconciliation between the two couples. In addition to the Sussexes' recent well wishes, Harry briefly reunited with his brother and sister-in-law in England earlier this month at the funeral for his grandfather, Prince Philip. Following the scaled-back service, Harry was seen walking and chatting with Will and Kate. Bazaar can confirm that they attended a private family wake together for their grandfather as well. Though Harry's wife, who was in the late stages of pregnancy, could not attend the ceremony, she sent a note and a sentimental wreath for the late Duke of Edinburgh, which was displayed at the funeral. Did she? I don't think that was reported on, was it? Don't think anybody brought that to our attention. Must have missed that. So this short article tells us that well wishes were sent. The interesting point is that the other members of the royal family, Prince Charles, Prince Edward, etc., put out messages on their social media expressing their congratulations to the Duke and Duchess on reaching this milestone. The Queen sent a message on social media which stated, writing alongside a photo of Kate and William, the Queen wrote, wishing the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge a very happy wedding anniversary. Today marks 10 years since their Royal Highnesses exchanged vows at Westminster Abbey. Prince Charles and the Duchess of Cornwall also sent congratulatory messages on social media stating, wishing the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge a very happy 10th wedding anniversary. And they added an exploding party toy icon at the end. The Cornwalls are down with the kids, it would appear, using emojis. How fantastic. There were a variety of public congratulations issued, whereas the Duke and Duchess of Sussex sent their congratulations in private. This, of course, demonstrates the reaction. As I explained, the occasion of the 10th wedding anniversary is something that wounds the narcissist because it's all about somebody else. The spotlight is shining elsewhere, which threatens the narcissist's sense of control and leads to feelings of anger, fury, envy, irritation, annoyance, as the sensation of the wounding is effected. An unaware narcissist, of course, doesn't know that control is being threatened, doesn't know that this is an absence of fuel, doesn't recognize that these sensations are caused by the threat to control posed by well wishes going elsewhere and it being somebody else's time in the spotlight. Those emotion-based responses propel the narcissist to act in a particular way to assert control. And of course, this meant that a message of congratulations was sent from the Sussexes to the Cambridges, but it's noteworthy that this was done in private. This is what is known as bare minimum triangulation. The couple issue their congratulations, so they can't be criticised for saying nothing. A snub, whilst of course this is something that many narcissists would do, those of you who have experienced narcissism, been a victim of it, will remember the birthdays that were forgotten, the anniversaries that were forgotten, the special occasions that were ruined by the narcissist failing to purchase a gift, failing to express congratulations, failing to even turn up at the relevant event. All part of the narcissist asserting control in a variety of different ways in order to nullify the threat to the control posed by being all about you and not all about them. However, such a move would be damaging the facade if there was silence coming from the Sussex camp, and no doubt, as advised by PR individuals, a message of congratulations was sent. And therefore, that preserves the facade by showing, look, we sent a message of congratulations, but because it was done in private rather than the public congratulatory messages, a couple of which I've given you an example of, it in effect is an insult. So compared with everybody else's public stances, this private stance shows a contemptuous stance for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. In a way, it's comparable to turning up at somebody's birthday and giving them one of your unwanted birthday gifts from your birthday earlier in the year, rather than selecting something they would really enjoy. The bare minimum of effort has gone into the congratulations of handing over a gift. Similarly here, the bare minimum of effort has been provided with regard to sending a private message. Why not send it publicly? Well, of course, that's because the narcissistic trait of envy comes to the fore and wouldn't allow this to be done. The facade issues the instruction, you must send some kind of congratulations, otherwise the facade would be dented and that would threaten control over the masses. So send a message of congratulations, that is done. Remember, this is what the narcissism would be saying in the unconscious. This isn't what Harry's wife is actively thinking. She would think it's fair enough to send that message. We've sent them a message, what's the fuss about? But of course, the narcissism has designed it this way so that facade is preserved, control over the masses is preserved, whilst cocking a snook in a way that is difficult to question. It would look mealy-mouthed, wouldn't it, if either of the Cambridges were to comment about the fact that they only received a message in private, and indeed they are well-mannered and gracious enough not to do so. They might have privately commented about it between themselves, but they certainly wouldn't do publicly. However, the sending of this message privately, compared to all of the other public congratulations, is a begrudging congratulations and is bare minimum triangulation, which is part of the assertion of control in a malign way from the narcissist. But it gets better, because not only is this done in privately, but then it's leaked that they did this privately. Why not keep it quiet? Well, of course, that's part of the facade management. We need to tell everybody that we've sent a message of congratulations so that you don't think anything adversely against us for not having done so, because we have. But by the same token, we're also asserting control over third parties. See, we did congratulate, but it also draws even greater attention to the discrepancy. If the fact that a private message had been sent was not mentioned at all, of course the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and other members of the royal family would have picked up on the fact that everybody else has publicly congratulated them, but the Sussexes have done so privately. And that would, of course, is likely to have generated some consternation and reaction within the Cambridge household. However, by then doing it privately, but then making the private part of the message public by telling the world at large through a leak, this draws attention to it and makes the discrepancy between the private nature of the message and the public messages of everybody else all the greater. And this is amplification. So the narcissism has selected the bare minimum triangulation, which is done in order to 1. Preserve facade externally, 2. Assert control over William and Kate through a malign behaviour, which also has plausible deniability. We sent a message, what's the fuss? So if anyone were to say to them, why did you do it privately when everybody else did it publicly? You just did that to cock a snook at them. No, not at all. We are private people now. Of course, the hypocrisy of such a statement would be lost on the narcissist making it. And then, of course, it's leaked as part of the wider facade management, and it allows the amplification of the initial manipulation, resulting in a further assertion of control. And that demonstrates the reaction of the narcissist externally to what has occurred. As I mentioned in part 1, there will have been private responses to the occurrence of the wedding anniversary, with no doubt smearing occurring or dismissive observations made, or even staying silent about it. The second and third assertions of control. Here, control is asserted directly through the bare minimum triangulation, and also indirectly through triangulating the individuals with the messages and the public at large. And control is also asserted indirectly over the media and third parties as a consequence of drawing attention to this publicly. And that is the manipulative response that has occurred as a result of the 10th wedding anniversary. Harry's wife, of course, cannot stand that the spotlight will be elsewhere, just like any other narcissist. She's no different in that regard. There's nothing special about that. The fact that it's about somebody else makes us feel unimportant, vulnerable, weakened. But the narcissist, where unaware, being lesser or mid-range, doesn't actually understand what it is that's causing those sensations and attribute it to something else instead. In part 3, I'm going to be addressing a recent revelation about some recollections may vary. We've heard that said before, but there is a fresh opportunity on the horizon. Join me in part 3 to learn more.